So when we click get started, either you can log in as a teacher or you can log in as a student. So let me log in as a teacher. So of course, very standard way, you can create an account and then you log in. Let me log in with my ID. Once you sign in, this is your screen. This is how the screen looks like. You can see the total assignment that you've already done, how many are pending reviews, how much hours have you saved, how many students have been assessed based on assignment. And not only that, you can also get an insight of your entire class, what their average and all. We can do the stand and also what have been the recent assignment. You can also download it as a CSV file, or you can view analytics, or you can even manage rubrics. So there are a lot of things that you can do. But let's go step by step. The very first thing that you do is design a rubric. So this is how rubric look like. So rather than designing on this call, I'll rather open a rubric that has already been designed. But it takes, once you look at the rubric, it is just like 2 minutes to design a rubric. So for example, this is a rubric that we have designed. So if I click on edit, so you can see I gave it a name called comprehensive essay rubric. It's a detailed rubric for academic essay with multiple assignments. I want to see what has been the thesis and the argument put forth by the student. I want to give it a weightage of 25%. If the level is exceptional, I give 25%. If the level is proficient, we give him 20%. If it is developing, it's 15%. If it is just the beginning, then we give it 10%. Now, how am I assessing all this? I'm already assessing it with a description, and this is something that LLM uses. So if somebody is exceptional, we say the thesis is really compelling. It has been clearly stated. It's very sophisticated. Arguments are insightful and well developed with exceptional depth of analysis. So that's where I give this particular prompt to analyze whether the thesis are exceptional, proficient, developing, or beginning. And similarly, we can do, and that's just one level. You remember I just gave it 25% and support. So if I go back further down, I will have 25% for evidence and support. Again, same type of scoring, but the description is different. So in case of evidence support, evidence is to be highly relevant, varied, and perfectly integrated. Sources are credible and properly cited, and examples are compelling and enhance arguments. So in that way, you can actually define detailed rubric. You can also edit these rubrics, and then you can click save changes. Once you click save changes, the rubric gets saved into all the rubrics that you've designed, and you can create your own rubrics that you need most of the time up over here just by clicking plus create rubric, and then you can keep on adding these field, press save, and you already have a rubric. Now, first, the once you have designed this particular rubric, now we go to creating an assignment. In case of creation of an assignment, all we have to do is um, call about the assignment, type in a name of the assignment, the class for it. So let's say I type an assignment on essay on uh, Thomas Kuhn's contribution to science. So if I take this as an assignment, and let's say this is for philosophy major, I can always choose a topic. Right now we are giving 4 of these. I put it into the history because we are talking about history of science. And let's say it's for 11th grade student. He has to come and write an essay about it. I can also define a date on which this assignment is due, so that a student knows when to do. And then I can write a detailed description of what goes into the assignment, and what am I looking for. You will be assessed um, on your thesis, grammatical correctedness, and and other parameters mentioned exclusively on rubric. Anything beyond the rubric won't be taken into account. Now let's say this is description. This description has been given for student to know how and will they be assessed, and then I can always use an AI to generate it for me further as well. Once I've done this, then I have to choose which rubric I'm going to apply. And in this case, I'm going to apply comprehensive essay rubric. If I do not like any of them or I forget about creating a new rubric, we have a quick shortcut button. Will just help you create a new rubric. Once we do up over here, we can go to the next page. Let's say I've already have been handed over the essays, so I can just bulk upload them, run by them, and then I have my entire assignment done. But or I can even import from Canvas or Google Classroom, whatever LMS I'm using. Or just in case I don't have, it's an optional field. I want student to submit, and that's a demonstration that I'm going to give you. So once I've done this, I'll just review whether all the things that I've defined are these good or not, and how long it's going to take for students to fill in this assignment. If everything is fine, I don't have to go back. I can just say, okay, let's start grading. Now, once I click start grading, we're just waiting for submissions. So all students have to do is they have to submit their assignment. So let me go back. Before I go back to the student screen, once let's say the students have already submitted the assignment, I can go onto the student tab and I can see which student got what percentage marks, all the details about the student. I can have access to their grading. I can have access to their analysis of their performance. Who's the top performer? What is the class average? So I have all this analytics regarding students built up over here, and I have a complete class analytics. That's something that I need is up over here. How average score has been trending within the class, how the class is scoring, what is the score distribution, what is their criteria around different rubric aspects, whether they are creative content. These are all rubric aspects. We can define and design and change them in the rubric. And then what are their most challenging criteria basis of their responses. We do what is the most challenging criteria. And then of course we have some rudimentary way of calculating the time that we're going to save. Of course there have been a couple of assumptions taken, but I think they're like fairly taken assumptions. So with this, let me go back to the student screen and walk you through that. But before that, I'll hand it over to Sham. Sham, any questions, any aspect, or should I just jump onto completing
I
the
think
demo
I think
first?
we can move into the student part.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So that was the teacher's part. Teacher's still waiting to grade the assignment. We'll just jump onto student side. We'll upload the assignment that student has prepared or completed. And once the assignment has been completed or delivered by student, we'll just jump back onto grading part. How teacher's gonna grade this assessment. So without further ado, let me go back to the student side. I go and log in. Hold on just one second. I get started. I'm a student and I'm going to log in again. Student has already created uh, an account. So as a student, when I sign in, I can see that there is a new assignment that has come in, which I need to submit. And these are my previous assignments, that were given. I can see all my previous work, my feedback, how it was, how the score breakdown was in the previous one, what was my submission at that time. I can have a look at all of them. So for example, yeah, and there's one pending assignment that I have to submit. I have few days to submit it, and so what I'll do is I'll just go and click submit, and the essay is around Thomas Kuhn's contribution to the science. Here's the rubric, so I'm totally aware of what kind of rubric is expected of me, and I can either upload a PDF, text, or a doc file, or I can just write the text. So in this case, let me write and submit the text. Just for demonstration, I've created some sort of a text, and this text is let's say it has nothing to do with um, Thomas Kuhn's assignment, just to show I'm submitting wrong, so that I should not get good marks. But let's see how assessment is being done. Otherwise, it's a good paper written about an impact of climate action. So once I do this, I click submit assessment, and the assignment has been submitted. But I'm awaiting for my grade. So no matter how many times I refresh, till the teacher has actually completed the assessment, I will not get the grades, and I'm still waiting. In my philosophy 1A, it is still in the grading. It is pending. Now let's go back to the teacher screen again. Go back. I continue as a teacher. I pass on my credentials again. And I log in, and here I have one assignment which is pending, which I need to grade. So I go over here, I see the assessment, the original text that has been submitted by students, and I will get the list of all the students who have submitted over here. So I already saw the submission by the student over here, and I want, rather than me grading it, I want AI to, and I have an option to check plagiarism and other things, and I want to grade with AI. So all I have to do is just press grade with AI. It'll take its own sweet time. It'll go through different type of rubrics. We just have to wait for a few seconds, and then grading has been done. So if you see, it has already graded it. It says thesis and argument given only 5 point out of 25 point. Of course, we have asked the bot to be polite, so it has written politely, and these are like dummy data for the time being, but these are responses that will come from AI, and it has given responses about the thesis and argument, evidence and support, organization structure, style and voice, and grammar and mechanics. And if you see broadly, it has only 24 score out of 100, and AI's confidence is pretty high in this particular one. So if I go back to the main dashboard and I see it has been graded, the student has been graded on the assignment. Sarah got 24 score. Going back to the dashboard, if I go to analytics, oh sorry, let me log out. Now that student has been assessed, I have assessed one student over here. It has been graded. And this is again, my class inside suddenly changes once I've graded it, and this will keep on changing as and when I'll assess my rest of the class. Now if I go back to Sarah's account and see how it shows in her dashboard, let's go back, sign in, and then she can go and look at that she got an F, only 24% marks. She can view her feedback, what she did well, what she improved, what she can improve further, the breakdown of the score, and also what her submission was. She can download the report. The other thing is, on a dashboard, she can also view her progress. So that's her progress across different type of scores. So she got different score in different assignments. This one is A1, is the one that she has just done. She got a 24 score up over here. This is her strength and weaknesses. This spider graph helps us assess what her strengths are, her weaknesses are, so that she can improve. Assignment completed 5, overall grade 44%. These are all cumulative scores that she got, and including with a breakdown. We also have option, looking at all her responses. The AI will generate a writing improvement suggestion. How can she write better? What all changes she needs to do to her work, and then she can see the system has defined, things that she can do. For example, use transition word and phrases to signal relationship between ideas, which she's not doing, and then some specific examples are also given. Another is, employ topic sentences that forecast paragraph content. These are the few aspects. Of course, every student's different, and it's actually collecting all the criteria, and then it's generating AI response. So as Sarah, I can see I made a submission. B, I immediately saw my response. C, I also saw how I can improve my response, and then these are all AI generated. While teacher can also provide her own response or his own response to this particular problem statement.